But we feel as long as we can control, hey, I'm happy, I'm not stressed, people like me, then that makes you a better person, therefore makes you more acceptable to God. So instead of cutting things out, we allow things in. You guys see the contrast here? Where what Paul is addressing here, he's talking about people who just cut things out and say, you have to cut these things to be a better Christian. Nowadays we say you have to add these things to be a better Christian. Okay, you need to be a happy, full person, so you add whatever you need to. If that means you have to spend, 36 hours in a gym a week, then you spend 36 hours in a gym a week. If that means that you starve yourself so you look better, that you feel better about yourself, then you do that. If that means you have no life, so that all you do is study, so that you make the best grades, go to the best college, get a great education, then you do that. Whatever makes you happy, you do, and that makes you a better person, and therefore makes you more acceptable to God. So whatever you have to do in your job, you do that. Whatever you have to do in school to make yourself popular, make yourself happy, you do that. We add things to the gospel. Paul is warning us, saying that they are of no value for dealing with the heart condition. Okay? With the condition of your heart. That's what he means here. He says they are of no value in stopping the indulgence of the flesh. The heart condition that we have that rebels against God. All these, doesn't matter what you add or take away, it doesn't matter. They will not address what is truly going on in your heart, and that you are a sinner in need of a Savior. Doesn't matter how many rules you follow. Doesn't matter what grades you make at school. Doesn't matter what team you're on. Doesn't matter who your parents is. Doesn't matter how happy you feel or how not stressed you are. Doesn't matter how popular you are. It doesn't matter, because it never addresses the heart condition. It never addresses the fact that anywhere you go, whether you cut things out or add things, you're trying to take the place of Christ in your life. Let's read chapter 3. It says in verse 1, "If then you have been raised with Christ, seek the things that are above, where Christ is, seated at the right hand of God. Set your minds on things that are above, not on things that are on earth. For you have died, and your life is hidden with Christ in God. When Christ, who is your life, appears, then you also will appear with him in glory." Verse 1 says, "If then you have been raised with Christ." If there is a raising, folks, there must first be a what? A death. If you have been raised, you must first die. Which means we die to what we want. We die to our need to control something. We die to that. It's not about what we can add or take away to our faith to make us more acceptable to God. It is about Christ and Christ alone. So we die to everything else. We die to how we believe our life should be going. And we allow Christ to take the place of those things that we had tried, that we had pursued, those pleasures, that acceptance. We replace those things in our hearts with Christ. He is everything. And we seek after the things that He would seek after. We put our minds on things that are above, not on things that are on this earth. Because no matter what, folks, what we have here is going to die. And it may not be now, it may not be tomorrow, it may be years down the road, but it is going to die. That popularity that you hold on to at school, that's going to die. You're going to graduate one day, hopefully. And you're going to move on to a new group of friends. You're going to move on to a new stage in life, whether that be college or a job or getting married or whatever it is. You're going to move on. That is going to die. What you're striving for now is going to die. For those of you that are pursuing athletics, this is something that I relate to because it's something that I had to learn the hard way. Whether it be football, basketball, volleyball, whatever it is that you're doing, that one day is going to die in you. Not because you don't love it anymore, or maybe you can't even do it, but because there's going to come a point where your body can't take it. And whether that's 20 years down the road, or whether that's with a knee injury in a freak accident, it's going to die. For me, it died way too soon. I wanted to play college ball, man. And I was good enough. But all I got was 5 years. And all that work, the hours and hours and hours I spent catching a little oblong ball made of leather, was for nothing. Now, I learned lessons in those things. I'm not saying don't do sports. Okay? I love sports. I still love playing sports. I'm not saying that God can't use those things. That's not what I'm saying at all. Okay? That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm not saying God's not going to use your education. I'm not saying God can't use certain things in your life that He's given you a passion for. That's not what I'm saying. But when the pursuit of those things replaces Christ or things that are of Christ, then we're living in sin. We're living apart from Christ. We're putting something else in His place. Whether that be popularity, whether that be a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a job, whether that be whatever it may be. For some people it's a car, which is just amazing. You can put a piece of metal in front of your wife and kids and it just doesn't make any sense, but some people do it. Some people it's not a certain pursuit, some people it's just control in general. I mean, as long as they're in control, they have their list that they do every day, and I mean, as long as they're in control, everything's good. Paul is warning us here. He's saying, none of it matters. The only things that matter in this life are things that are eternal. The things that are where Christ is now, in eternity. Everything else is going to die. Everything else is going to die. Listen, folks, something that's really hard. When we don't do this, when we don't make Christ our all, okay? When we don't make Him our only pursuit, nothing else, when something goes wrong, things get really bad. Okay? So if you're putting your faith in a friend or a guy or a girl, one day, whether because of their choice or not their choice, they're going to be gone. They're going to be gone. And when that happens and you have built your foundation on this person, you've built whatever makes you comfortable, whatever makes you happy, you built your life around this one thing and it's pulled out from under you, you have nothing